G'day and welcome to a new episode of Camperland TV. On today's show, we pack the thongs and the rods for an epic overseas adventure on beautiful Moreton Island. Food, fun and fishing awaits. The Jayco brand has been synonymous with good times and great adventures for many a year in Australia, so it's no surprise that the new owners of Brisbane Camperland should want to get out and get amongst it early in their tenure. Just like the family business that Brisbane Camperland was, it now sits snugly in the hands of another successful family business empire, headed by Mark Beats, of the well-known Bartons Group from down Wynnum Way.
It's the Brisbane Camperland Jayco Bartons Marketing Symposium 2024.
But you're not scared. You brought some big, comfortable Jayco vans with you as well.
Yeah, I think getting some of this stuff over on the island and showing people that you can do it, and it's not too hard.
Yeah.
Famous last word.
Yeah. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we'll get to Bulwer in one piece, not pieces.
Beatsy, as he's known to his mates, has enlisted the help of his good mates and brand ambassadors. Broncos legend Andrew G, another former Origin great in Craig Knuckles Greenhill, former Aussie cricket coach and playing legend Darren Buff Lehman, and another owner of a baggy green, former quick Michael Casper Kasperwitz. Supplying some of the technical support for this journey are the new dealer principal Shawn Price, Craig, Jimmy, Karen and Jess. 8 cars with 7 vans on one magnificent island.
Here's Andrew G, former Broncos player, legend of the club. Now supports the Dolphins. Now goes to the Dolphins. We love it. Oh.
It's an early start this morning because of an 8 a.m. high tide, but we roll off the MyCat and onto the island with no fuss and a lot of fanfare. Advent of really clever off-grid systems, Jayco's range of vans are well represented on this trip to Moreton. And while many would be hesitant to take a big van to a sand island, our team is adamant that big vans pose little problem if you plan right, and the benefits can be absolutely outstanding. We make that point on our first afternoon here, towing all of our equipment up to the northern fishing village of Bulwer, and then around to North Point for a leg stretch and a chin wag.
Craig, it would seem to me that the Lark would be the perfect Moreton Island vehicle, would it not?
Well, this one we've optioned up. It's got air conditioner, external shower, hot water system, so yeah, you can camp out and still have all your mod cons. Very easy to tow, nice and narrow, not as wide as some of your big caravans, but yeah, you'll get through those tracks.
What are you towing it with, mate?
This one's a new T60 Max in the LDVs,
Okay.
So yeah, nice tow.
Then we plan to head back around Combayiro Point for a fish and some wine and cheese around sunset.
He's rigged me up with a nice light little, there you go, nice light little hook here. Immediately, very first cast, we've actually lost the worm. So there's something, I felt a nibble there, so I think we're on here. The only problem with what we've got going on now is the bait is way back over there. See ya. Woohoo! Mine was bigger.
Now I know what you're thinking, this bloke works really hard. Yeah, sorry. And while it might not look like work, trips like this are really important for the business, as Shawn Price, dealer principal and shareholder, explains.
Look, we are, Mark and I were caravanners, so we actually love doing this sort of stuff. What we wanted to do today was see what we could challenge ourselves with. And again, bringing a 22-foot van over to Moreton, people said you shouldn't do it, but at this stage it's done it with ease. We've got a large range of vans here today, as you can see, anything from our little 16-foot pop tops right through to our 22-foot all-terrain vans. We've been working out, first of all, driver ability comes into it, and we've got a few people here today that may struggle a touch, but it's been a lot of fun pairing the vehicles with the vans.
Starting with my rig, the brand new Mitsubishi Triton and the evergreen Jayco Swan, a match made in heaven for Moreton Island sand. Shawn's piloting the throaty Nissan Y62 Patrol and towing Jayco's fully self-sufficient weapon, the all-terrain off-grid X Caravan. Making the point that no van is too big for Moreton Island. Craig Mack has hitched the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport to one of our favourite off-roaders, the Jayco Crosstrack. Jimmy from Brisbane Camperland is behind the wheel of the Nissan Navara, which easily tows the other all-terrain off-grid X. And some newer imports along for the trip are included, in the form of the LDV T60 Ute, with GG towing the Jayco Lark Outback. Knuckles is behind the wheel of the GWM Cannon, towing the very handy Jayco J-Pod X. The other Crosstrack along on this trip has been converted into a mobile coffee van, towed behind the GWM Tank 500, piloted by Beatsy, who does love a good macchiato. Last but not least is the Tank's little brother, the Tank 300 Hybrid with Buff Lehman at the helm.
Driving the tank around with the hybrid tank, so Bartons have done a great job, and obviously, with Jayco and the caravans have been excellent.
8 cars, 7 vans, 1 majestic island. Our first day ends with a team dinner at Castaways, followed by the Bush TV, as is tradition. A perfect fire under a billion stars. Can Moreton Island get any better? Well, let's see what tomorrow brings. The next morning delivers clear skies and brisk winds. We decide to unhitch for the day and do a lap of the Moreton Island map. Well, almost all of us. The conversion that's been done to the Jayco Crosstrack has turned it into the flashest coffee cart you've ever seen. Mark decides that the GWM Tank should do the honours and opens the coffee cart for flat whites and macchiatos at the Moreton Island Lighthouse car park. I reckon safe to say a first for Cape Moreton, a definite traffic stopper.
Fantastic. I appreciate everything the boys from Bartons have done for us, and I look forward to seeing them in the dealership.
Really good, thanks.
The Moreton Island Lighthouse is definitely worth the short walk. It's the oldest lighthouse in Queensland and the only one to have been built by the New South Wales government before the separation of states took place in 1859. It's a pretty good spot for spotting whales, turtles and dolphins on days when it's not quite as windy. Our run down the eastern beach is perfect. Sun's out, the gunners are revealing themselves on the ebbing tide, and there's even time to pull up and show Buff how to catch a sandworm.
Did you touch it? Yeah, I did. Oh, we've had a touch. We've had a touch.
However, for the rest of us, our idea of gathering seafood is a little more refined than Buff's, and to do it, we need to head to a place like no other on Earth. A little piece of uniquely Australian paradise in the Moreton Island township of Karingal, known as the Gutter Bar.
Give us a big cheers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yay!
Now, while the name might not sound particularly appealing, it's not what you think. The Gutter Bar is named for the stretch of water to the west of here known as Days Gutter. It's here that you'll meet all sorts of interesting characters over a cold drink and some delicious seafood. And the setting, well, it's straight out of a Jimmy Buffett song. I have a feeling it's going to be hard to tear ourselves away from here. As the tide allows, our trip home in the late afternoon sees us heading north up the western beach, past some of the tastiest oyster leases on the planet. Sandy and Wade from the Moreton Bay Oyster Company have expanded their operation in recent years. Now open to the public, you can stop in, pick up a few dozen Kringle rocks and take them on your way with you. The oysters are seasonal, but Wade had a few up his sleeve to tempt the boys with, just to keep their sustenance up for the long drive home.
They good, mate?
Oh yeah. They're bloody good.
What a day, what a crew, what a place. Fantastic adventures await on Moreton Island, as we've shown in this episode, even towing a 22-foot caravan. It's easily achievable with the tides in your favour and a bit of strategic planning. And to have your travelling home with you in a paradise like this is about the best holiday I reckon one could hope for.
Lifestyle's what it's all about, hence we're at Moreton for the week. You know, I think it's a bit special in May. You've got that coolness of a night to sit around a fire and, you know, the days have been glorious out on the beach. You know, people want to see what vans can do. Bringing the cars along, as I said before, we can show people what the cars and the vans can do. Guys from Castaways, no doubt, you know, Moreton Island Adventures and My Cat, they've been, you know, very supportive of what we're doing, as have a range of companies. So, you know, there's, you know, for us, the footprint's been laid for the next trip.
With or without a van, Castaways at Bulwer is a terrific base from which to do anything on Moreton Island. The MyCat will get you to Moreton, and you can book both online. And don't forget your driving and camping permits before you leave. The Bartons team at Wynnum and Capalaba can help you with all the info on the vehicles that you've seen on today's show. And of course the excellent range of Jayco vans you'll find at Brisbane Camperland on Wynnum Road at Tingalpa. That's all we've got for you from magnificent Moreton. We'll see you next time.